Welcome to ICAN Learning Solutions, your hub for debt collection solutions. I'm Craig A. Nell, your debt collection specialist, here to guide you on this journey. In our videos, we explore crucial tools and skills to boost your debt collection performance. We cover collection strategies, we review software, and discuss collection agent training and outsource management. Join us for this educational and insightful adventure. Welcome to ICAN Learning Solutions. For over 2 decades, I've been at the forefront of debt collections, navigating various sectors from banking and financial services to home loans, vehicles and education. But for me, it's not just a job, it's a true calling. My mission is to understand human behavior. And here's the secret. Every text, email or agent phone call carries a unique tone that can make a debtor think twice about you, not just their debt. I come from the old school where spraying and praying and scare tactics were the norm. I've lived through it all, but I've learned that treating debtors with respect and dignity, educating them, leads to better results. The key to success in debt collection lies in investing our energy and resources into training our collection agents. After all, they are the ears and eyes and the face of a business. They are our most invaluable assets. Join me on this journey as we explore the art of debt collection, where human connection is crucial as the numbers. This is more than a profession for me, it's a commitment to making a difference. My name is Craig A. Nell. Wondering what this episode is all about? Join us as we unveil the transformation of debt collection. With 2 decades of experience working in contact centers across South Africa and Africa, training and leading agents across various diverse sectors, I made a striking realization. Most collection agents tend to sound like robots. We give them a mere 10 days of training, expecting them to collect millions, while they interact with individuals facing complex financial challenges and intricate legal remedies. But I've had an epiphany. Our debt collection agents are the linchpin of success in any collections environment. Introducing the concept of the smart agent. In this episode, we dive into the SMART acronym. S stands for strategy, M for money, A for active listening, R for recalling information, and T stands for timing of payment. The benefits for collection agents are astounding. Improved confidence, enhanced competence, and better experiences for consumers. They realize that they're dealing with someone on a whole new level. Consumers enjoy a personalized experience, something they've been missing for years. It's a win-win for everyone. Stay tuned for the final chapter revealing the benefits for employers and credit providers. My name is Craig A. Nell. Hey there, welcome back to the overview of the Smart Agent. Well, let's talk through some of the details that will be covered in this episode. As mentioned earlier, we'll talk through what a smart agent means. So the acronym is strategy, money, active listening, referring to information, and the timing of the payment. Strategy. It's essential for us that a collection agent understand the strategy. In other words, what is the workflow? What is the chain of events before an account got to them? It's often they're busy on the phone calling And it's essential to know that what kind of communication went out, were the SMSs, were the emails, what was the content of those, because often when you engage with the debtor, it's not the first time. They may know that they owe the money and often act surprised. So it also, as a smart agent, is to refer to say, well, you've received an email this morning or an SMS, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's also essential that as a smart agent you understand policies and procedures of either your company, if you're a credit provider, or if you're an external debt collector, what those are and how it can play into your favor, especially with these debtors that are quite smart. They know the rules and they know how to bend them. Know which communication channels you use. Companies are using WhatsApp, email, text messaging, and most importantly, as you make your call, you need to know what campaign you are working on. Critical. So that there's synergy between what you're doing on the call and what is transcended or what's happened already during the day. Chapter 3, let's talk about M for money. This is important, and I find over the years people rush to go to the minimum amount because it's convenient, and in fact I've seen in many instances people ask for significantly less, and that's not what a smart agent is about. The more you ask for and the longer you remain in that state and negotiate, the higher your chances are, or your probabilities are. So it's ideal as a smart agent to always push for settlement, whether the account is 30 days or it's been you're working on a charge of book. It might also mean that there are discounts available, understand if there are, and offer them at an appropriate time. Don't start your conversation with a discount. Always try to push for the settlement first, and then if all fails, you then go down to what is the minimum allowable amount that you can ask for. Never go less than that. And then also very important, what's the method of payment preferred. In South Africa, debit orders is quite popular. In fact, debit check is the most reliable, but many consumers don't necessarily like going that route, so but have that in your ammunition. It becomes tricky, especially once you've introduced yourself as an agent and then suddenly debtors have bad memory. Let's start with the example here with recalling. You call the debtor and suddenly they recognize that it's a debt collection agent or it's a credit provider, and now they ask you please to call them back later on. And we have some techniques around that, especially in the introduction, where we actually recommend that you say to them, hi, may I speak to so and so, this and this is what we suggest. Is this a convenient time for us to speak? And if the debtor says yes, then go for it. They can't come back later and say, look, I'm driving, please call me back. Another scenario is when you speak to the right person, obviously they're going to look for ways out of this conversation, and I think this is where it's very important to understand, asking questions, for instance, what is the reason that you're not paying? And then they may say, well, I'm unemployed, so let me test my understanding. Are you saying, so the reason for not paying is that you're unemployed? The reason we have this technique, you'll see later on, especially if you've been trained through ICAN, we speak a lot about the treatment plan, and in there we encourage you to look at the account on the screen and see what the previous reasons were, and then you use that against them. Then there's instances where you speak to a third party. It could be a relative, it could be a colleague that answers the phone, and that is a huge opportunity. It's not about leaving messages to say, how do I get hold of the debtor? If the data is not available, do you have another contact detail? So your output should be getting either leaving a solid message or getting additional contact information from the debtor. R stands for refer. It is essential as a smart agent when you're analyzing or looking at your account during the conversations to refer to past payments. So if they do agree to make a payment arrangement, look at when they've made one in the past and look at those dates and the amounts, and then ask relevant questions. What were the past excuses? If suddenly the excuse, for example, is unemployment, what was the last month's excuse? And again, use that against the debtor. Very important. Have a look if your colleagues have captured previous consequences, such as the debtor may have collector may have mentioned probably default listing or legal action. And what you then do as a smart agent is to say, do you understand what our client or ourselves listing you in the credit bureau means to you? So test their understanding as opposed to reading it to them. And as I said, we're moving away from that highly scripted and robotic environment. And also, especially if they have made arrangements in the past, you can say, you've spoken to my colleague Mr. Jones in the past, and therefore you're creating the impression that this is this call is customized, because this agent is referring to past payments, referring to my past excuses, referring to consequences that was mentioned before, and also to previous people that I've spoken with. So the experience then becomes a customized one, and this is as we've mentioned in our introduction to the episode. Very important, timing of payments. As a smart agent, we encourage you to be very specific. So most companies would require you to ask for an immediate payment, so be specific. If it's 10 o'clock now, the morning, you ask them, can we have a payment by 5 o'clock this evening? Or if you say tomorrow, don't say 24 hours, to say tomorrow's the 12th of November, by this specific time. Be very focused, be very specific. If the debtor is employed in South Africa, we've got popular dates around about the 15th is normally government workers, 20 is the banks and retailers, 25th is from the majority of the employed people, and then there are a lot of people that get paid at the last day of the month. So try to avoid this thing called are you going to pay it month end? Month end could mean any of those dates, so please be very, very specific in what you're asking. And then we introducing what is called the MAD method, which is at the end of your negotiation, and let's say you did get a payment arrangement, then it's appropriate to say, well, thank you, Mr. Customer, Mr. Debtor, for making the arrangement. It's suitable. The amount is X, the method of payment is debit order, and the date will be on the 11th of November. All happy. And this is okay. By way of concluding this call, can you just remind me again what the method of payment is? What is the amount that we've agreed? What is the date? My friends, if they get any of these three questions wrong, and these are questions, not statements, then you treat this debtor as a defaulter. Simple as that. You say, well, you're not taking me seriously. Are you writing this down? We will be sending you an SMS or an email to confirm this arrangement. But sir, you're not taking this process seriously. Are you aware of the consequences? So please take some time out, and if you have a pen or use your phone, just record this information and then you repeat it again. And that's where you can change your tone. And I know in the introduction we spoke about earlier that we want to treat people with dignity. So we don't mean be disrespectful in any way, but we also we need to be firm. So how do you benefit as an agent by being a smart agent? Well, you're acquiring more skills. So having to understand strategy, having to try new methods. It's also methodical. So you're having a plan, by having a treatment plan, for example. So you've got a game plan just before the call, so you're very clear what you want out of the negotiation. So it will help you with your confidence. Be assertive, ask questions. You can't be the one just reading scripts. So remember, we're moving away from that. So be assertive, but not aggressive. Be resourceful in the questions that you're asking. And then finally, tenacious. Not every call is going to lead to a promise to pay. In fact, some people, about 20 to 25% of customers may not make a promise to pay, but often go and pay, especially if you were very good in kind of also educating and you were firm with the data. So just be mindful of that. It's very important to always to consider all of these factors. So how does your company benefit? Well, the benefit now is that, as I said, my passion is training collection agent. It helps with retention because now they, as an agent, they feel more, let's say, confident, more competent. It improves your collections because they're thinking on their feet. It's not about being robotic. Every call is really the experience is quite customized. There's ongoing learning, so they're going to be learning new techniques. They'll be understanding that different debtors and different campaigns require a different tone. And the debtor's perspective is going to change with your company because they will realize, we're not dealing with robots here. These guys understand. They look into my account. They ask very specific and pointed questions. And overall, it then helps with employee well-being. If they start achieving incentives, your company is then improving performance. So there's great value and benefits in being a smart agent. And we really encourage you that as you recruit and as you train your staff, you take your time. Make sure that they understand everything they need to know about either your business or your client's business, and invest the time. They are, after all, your biggest asset, and the investment, in our opinion, is worth it.